Move. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for the heartbeat. It's Friday. It is Friday. What a long week. You know? Hello, mate. Fuck around and find out Friday. God, I haven't been on, 4 days? Which is normal. Heaven forbid a lady have a life. You know? Heaven forbid. Burned your hand on a Scentsy light bulb? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Huh? What were you thinking? Y'all, I cannot wait for winter to be over. I am sick and tired of dry air. And the humidifier is not working. Why were you trying to change a light bulb half asleep, ma'am? Huh? Why were you trying to change a light bulb half asleep? Huh? Got knocked over. Oh, yeah, cat stuff. Yup. I know, mine's been a menace lately, too. It's winter time, so she wants to be, like, hibernating, but all up in the business. Hibernating, but all up in the business. Are you guys going to send Christmas cards next year? Are you going to send Christmas cards next year? Huh? Huh? Well, are you? Christmas cards are pricey now. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Make sure you send them to the DV victim with 3 kids that got doxxed as well. Don't forget her. She's gonna need them. Yeah. Yeah, it's very expensive. They're all very expensive. Yeah, Bruja. Yeah, when somebody got their panties in a bunch, they decided that it would be cute to go live and, well, a lot of the people I didn't know. But some of the people definitely did. And one of them just happened to be somebody who literally just got out of a DV situation, who has 3 small children. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And it's so interesting to me too, because the same people that were double tapping and gifting, right? The same people that were double tapping and gifting found themselves on another platform playing Crybaby, right? Playing Crybaby about somebody doing satire, which I also will state publicly that I found distasteful. Do I understand? Yes, but it's still distasteful, right? Because even with all this shit that's happened, which I don't even know if I'm fully caught up. I was busy. I had to travel for work, okay? So why and how can you cry about something when the person you sit with does the exact same thing, okay? Because it's not awareness. It's not. It's not awareness. You're not informing people, right? At the point where you make an AI of me, like AI figures of me, right? With rugs and alcohol and all this shit while holding an adoption certificate, right? At the point that you're doing that, but you have these women convinced that what you're doing is good and it's okay and people deserve to know. What when it came to my AI figures did they deserve to know, right? Because respectfully, none of you know anything about me. Nothing. You know nothing about me. Okay? And what I think is interesting, especially for you, SJ, okay? Since we want to just call names, you're in my inbox. Right? You're in my inbox, but you in the same breath are saying that you don't approve. In the same breath you're saying that you don't approve of what's going on, but while it's happening, you guys are all double tapping, gifting, and sharing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now I was sent this morning where I am being accused of, first of all, I'm being accused of being a fake page. Everybody that knows me knows I don't do fake pages. If I have something to say to you, I'm going to say it to you, first and foremost. Secondly, let me find it. Secondly, I'm being accused of knowing. Okay, I don't even know where to begin to address this because I'm a little bit confused. And in reading the post, what it reads to me is that because OG showed me her conversations, because OG showed me her conversations with Farah, right, and the fraud thing, you're saying that I knew that things were being sold? But I have questions because, first of all, how would I know code for any of that shit? Right? I don't do any of that shit. So I don't know what the code is, first and foremost. Second of all, that would be you saying that Pharaoh was purchasing that stuff from OG. That would be you saying that Pharaoh was purchasing that stuff from OG, because the only messages I ever saw was regarding the fraud. I don't even know OG like that, and it's already fuck you for OG on my end. Right? Didn't take long. I can't say that I know OG because I only talked to OG for what, like maybe 7 days total. Whenever the Farrah stuff started popping off with the fraud, it was like 3 or 4 days, because I listened to the one side and then I came and listened to the other side. So, I didn't even know Hair Junkie. So, this weird thing that you're trying to do and insinuate that I knew something about anything, and maybe some agency needs to know. Let me explain something to you. I will open my door happily, first and foremost, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Second of all, I'm going to send them to the people that would. Okay? The people that would, right, would be the people involved, which would be Farrah and OG. That's where I would send them. Okay? So, I don't know what you got going on with that. I don't know how one thing transpired into the next, or how Hair Junkie's involved. I had maybe 2 interactions with Hair Junkie. Ever. And I had never had a conversation with OG. I'm not from this side of the FYP, really. But if that's the accusation on me, right, then that would mean everybody that stuck up for OG on the fraud topic, that would be you accusing them as well. Because they got shared the same screenshots to prove that what Farrah was saying on live and in the chats was false. She was not being honest. Okay? So, like, this is, like, weird to me. It's weird to me, first of all, how hard you're trying to push my name. It's been, like, 6 or 7 days, bro. It's been 6 or 7 days. Okay? You're not silencing me. You're not, what's that other word that is used over there? Isolating. You're not doing any of that, okay? I've never been internet. Sometimes I go months without coming on here because I have an actual real life, okay? This shit is supposed to be like fun. This shit's supposed to be like fun, okay? And out of fun, what we get is goof troops calling their platforms awareness and doing everything they can to isolate, especially females. And at this point, I think that you're out for life. I think that's what your goal is, because as much as people are at your feet believing everything you say, you're just pulling shit out of nowhere. That post I seen and was sent this morning, that is like out of, I don't know where you pulled that from, okay? You are standing all 10 that I'm some fake page. And I know for a fact you have no receipts of that, because I'm actually not that page. I'm not behind any T pages, fake pages. I don't do that. Everybody that sits with me knows if I have something to say to you, I have never been one to go hide behind a fake page. And as a matter of fact, on my own accord, just got that #1 page to remove everything, because what they did, I do not fucking stand by. I don't. I'm not going to banter with you on those low levels. I'm not going to do it. You're never going to get that from me. Okay? Because if that was the case, I would have green screened all of your things like you did mine, right? I don't need to go that route. To me, that's emotional and mental maturity. Just like I don't need to hit the live button to prove to people like Amanda Kay that I haven't been silenced and pushed off the app. Okay? And I don't want to hear anything from you, Amanda Kay, because you're racist. That's what you are. I seen the clips. You're definitely that, ma'am. So what you have to say, I don't give a fuck. But I'm not silenced. I will never be silenced. I don't do TikTok full time. I never have. Just because I went live for so many days straight, and then I go, MIA. Double tap, y'all. They're already reporting. Isn't that crazy? Somebody just on live talking, but the one green screening DV victims and kids and city officials and all types of shit just get free reign. Just free green screen everybody's identity. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, yeah, so I guess I have questions on that, because in you saying that, then what you're saying is that the money would also make sense. If Pharaoh was buying that stuff, how does that incorporate with nails though? How does that incorporate with nails? That's a whole separate question. If what you're saying is true, then what you're saying is that Pharaoh was also purchasing that. So your post is cute. Send them to my house if that's what you need to do. But I'm going to have to be honest with them and say, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But the people involved are so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, according to so-and-so. So here's the information I have on them. If you need to go ask them, you need to go talk to them. You need to go talk to the people that know. It was their lingo. I don't know the lingo. I wasn't looking for lingo. I was looking to see if somebody frauded somebody. I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I don't do hair extensions and I don't wear nails. Like, I'm a painter, so on top of the fact that I don't,
if they talked about certain colors, it was a certain substance, and then a cat's eye referred to a substance that has a line on the PILL because it's like a cat's eye. That's I don't know.
Wait, so is this like actually legit?
Apparently,
Yo!
I'm not gonna lie. I watched, where he exposed it, because I told you he messaged me asking if I watched it. So I went back and I watched it, and it's pretty fucking damning. I'm not gonna lie. After I was explained the lingo, because I didn't understand, but
Somebody said cat eye. Cat eye is a nail polish. Yeah, see? I don't.
Yeah, Tina and I were doing mad research trying to figure this shit out. But I'm a drop. I just want to. Yeah, it's a whole thing, MJ. It's a whole thing. I'll be in the comments.
What the fuck is going on, yo? Listen, like I said, if that's true, then the person purchasing them, right, for what I was involved in, would be Farah.
It was reaching, but that's what it was. He was implying, he was up there like he was doing his big one, and he was implying that she was not making nails. They were just used in place of, he was saying she was pressing and making her own schmills, and that Pharaoh was buying them because he was showing text messages saying, the counts were wrong. this and that. Yeah, he was actually stretching and reaching. I watched quite a bit of it because I didn't watch, I was listening. I was in the shower, so I had no choice. And it was like, they were over, to me, I thought it was wild the way, but he basically he was using nails. And as River said, the style of the nail equated to what rug was used in the making of these pills. So whether it was Zans or whatever, the type of pill was, or the type of nail style or color was what was being made. And he was definitely trying to imply that this is something that OG was doing, and that really the transactions were not nails. They were a keyword for other things.
And I'm gonna be honest, like, okay, full transparency, right? It would make sense with the amount of money. Because one of the biggest things that everybody was saying, like, why so much money, right? We know that Farrah agreed to the money. Those are the receipts I saw. When I was shown receipts, the receipts I was shown was her confirming that the transactions were fine. But I mean, I don't know the full details, but to be fully transparent with what I'm hearing, it would make sense with the amount of money that was sent. But if true, then that would mean that Farrah, again, has not been honest with Duke.
Yes, so allegedly she came clean to them, and that's why she was showing texts and admitting her, I guess her problem, if you will, her rug problem. I guess pain or something is an issue. So again, I was showering, but what I was trying to pick up and listen, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And again, I don't know the whole backstory of everything. Everybody, like you said, they're not from our side of the FYP. So I don't know all these characters.
Yeah, no.
What I do know is I've seen enough of them be a victim one minute and crying about being a victim to this person. And then the next minute, now they're all rah-rah around him and bullying everybody. So that's what I just think is wild. Like, you're not safe over there because and what's crazy is everybody tells their business, and then when it's used against them later, then they've got another reason to play victim. So it's just, for me, this is another reason why I just don't be around that much, because it's just annoying. It's just annoying at this point. But yeah, agreed, Bruja. And that's how I look at it. Because listening to some of them over there, it's like you're standing behind him and hiding behind him. And I know some of these people have to have some common sense. They can't agree with some of the stuff he's doing in accusation, but you're rallying behind a man on the run. Make that make sense. Where's the integrity? Where are your morals? Where are your values? Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. I'm sorry. I can't, even if everything he was saying was true and I don't agree with it, I still can't rally behind him because of the person he is, his character, his morals. He has no integrity. He's like, ugh. So, but yeah, that's what it was, MJ. Like I said, I don't listen to a lot.
That's fucking crazy. If that's true, and it sounds like it might be. I mean, I'm not going to take that from it. It sounds like it might be. But it just, like, that implicates Farrah too. Like, Farrah will be investigated and she will be in trouble for making the purchases as well. So, we can run with this. Oh, well, we're not gonna hold her accountable because she came clean and she this and that. Like, that's not how it's gonna work.
Right. Well,
especially not in court of law when it's investigated.
Everybody thinks because now that they've stepped forward and took accountability, probably to come out of the dark from their lies, that it makes it right. And it doesn't, because accountability means making change from that behavior as well. And everybody's like, well, I took accountability. But have you changed your behavior? No, because then there's really no coming forward and saying, hey, I fucked up, and then next week doing the same thing. That means nothing. You have no integrity and you have no character. So your accountability is for shit. So, but yeah, that's...
And the integrity is like, I have been busy. I don't know, day 4, day 5. I'm not a full-time TikTok creator anyway. So there's times I go months without being on here. How I'm being implicated in knowing about some shit that I really don't even know about, first and foremost, but thinking that you're going to threaten me with a rug agency and think that the minute that they don't show up on my doorstep, I'm not going to point them to the people that would know, if true. Because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Right. I was looking at fraud receipts. I'm not looking for code. Why would I know code? Nail code?
And as
Hair
I'm sitting there
extension
listening,
code? Do I look like I
and
know hair extension or
MJ,
nail
I
code?
promise you, like when I hear your lives or when I've caught their lives, like I say, because I can only watch stuff like my attention span is just for shit now. It really is. It's just old.
Period. Mine
Right.
too.
You
Listen, I
know,
can't work. I can't work big jobs and do TikTok at the same time. I
no,
can't
no,
do it.
exactly. And I
I
had
can't do
actually
it.
got done working for the day and got in the shower and he was on. So I was like, okay, I was in there on a fake account and I was just listening. And I'm like, wow, you are really stretching with this. I'm like, where is he pulling this shit from? Like, he was like, and these nails, this is a code word for this. And if you got a cat's eye nail, you are asking for this. And if
I
you've
mean,
asked,
but, right? But, because right is right and wrong is wrong. If she came clean and she admitted to him that she was doing purchases and she let him know what the lingo was, he's probably right on that.
but my thing is how many
You know?
people knew she was doing this? Or even, but so they were all friends with her, what, 2 months ago? They
Well,
were
but it
last
could
month
boil
even.
down to that amount of money because people were, one of the biggest questions people had was, where was this amount of money coming from? Why was this amount of money decided on? And people were questioning her heavily on that. So the only thing I can think is if it came down to that and people were still questioning the money, then it would make sense why so much money and why so many sets of nails, or why Farrah lied about how many sets of nails she actually got.
Right, right.
Because
And
she told Mush that she only got like 9 packages, and that wasn't the case. There was a lot, and
well,
sometimes
yeah, and he's got the text to prove between them two. So
yeah.
yes, she did. But my thing is then is again now, this was not in the dark. This just wasn't between Farrah and her then. How many other people really knew about this? So now let's come on now, let's trickle it all down. Now let's do a trickle down. You know how they talk about trickle down economics? Let's do a trickle down effect here of people that really knew what the hell was going on, and now they wanted to start bashing out. Now here we go. We're going to rally around like a big gang of bullies, even though somebody A, B, and C might have known about it, and then bash somebody else for it or try to attack other people for it. Come on now, let's be so for
Yeah.
real. This wasn't something new that just came out. People knew about this. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that
let's
and
have accountability for
that's what
everybody.
I'm wondering too. How many people actually knew about this? Because I think what bro's forgetting is I'm not from the side of the FYP. I've never sat with OG. Have never sat with most any of them.
Right.
I don't really know them. I think I maybe had maybe 1 or 2 interactions with Hair Junkie, and probably even 6 to 8 months before Hair Junkie passed, of which I also don't know the details of that.
Right.
I heard it was medical reasons. I don't really know. I don't really know the guy. Don't know his family. So it's just odd. You can't implicate me in a bunch of shit rallied around a bunch of people that I don't even know. Okay,
Right.
I can prove that I didn't have my very first conversation with OG until it might have been like the 27th, 26th or 27th of December, when all of this shit first started popping off, and I needed to see receipts, right?
Right.
I wanted to see receipts. So prior to that, even on TikTok, Discord, all socials, that was the first time I had ever talked to OG. Ever. So this whole I knew about it, it's really not going to work. And unfortunately, in you doing that, I'll probably make the call first, let them know what you're accusing me of, and go ahead and send them to the appropriate parties,
Right.
because
Right.
I am, Bree.
I just remembered
They didn't
something else.
include Bald Faye down there?
No,
All right.
there was no bald. That's a wig cap, I guess. I don't know, but
I am bald on top. It's fine, though. I don't give a fuck.
I just remembered something else from watching that live too, and that's why I say it's damning. Is in some of the text messages that were showed between Farrah and OG, it talked about her husband, Farrah's husband,
Yep.
stamping and marking after she received them. Why would you stamp and mark nails? You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Wait, what? What is that? What does that mean?
like, you know how like you get medication and it has like
Imprints on them and stuff,
yeah,
markings on them to say
like,
what they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Here's my thing, though, and I'm not, listen, I'm not privy to this shit. How, would it be incorporated with the nails, like in the package, or in the nail its actual self? And if
So
in the nail its actual self, I'm asking too many questions because I don't even know how you would like use that.
You can't. So we've been making a joke on the back end that if it's incorporated into the nails, then I guess everybody's walking around here sucking their thumb or something because it doesn't make sense. Because I literally Googled, is that possible?
I quit, bro. I quit.
Well, no. So that's the other thing, though. I think it was the Queen, which I don't know. I don't know all these characters was saying, though. You can buy the machines to make these quote unquote nails at home. So we're actually, again, we're not talking nails. We are talking about the real pressed substances. And that she was like, you can buy those on Amazon. And I'm like, what the hell? I got a full education that night about this stuff.
Sarah, when I tell you we looked it up, you can literally buy a PILL press on fucking Amazon.
Yes, she said that. So it's like they were implying that OG and her husband were making these at home, were making these nails, quote unquote nails at home, and Farrah was purchasing them, and he had all of these text messages between her and Farrah that he was showing. And Farrah was like, nobody tampered with the package. I counted them. I only had 18 cat eyes. And he's like, how many? You've got 10 fingers. Why would you only need 18 cat eyes? He was like, come on, make it make sense. And I was like, ooh. I mean, I did kind of feel some of the stuff he was reaching on, but I'm like, well, he does have a point there. Like, you got 10 fingers.
Somebody said, anyway, here's my point. Why do you need 3 cameras to count nails? What are you talking about?
Allegedly, she had 3 cameras on her making nails.
Farrah wasn't in the live, but yes, Farrah admitted it. I guess he played a phone call. I actually logged out for a minute. I don't know if anybody was listening and heard a phone call he allegedly played with Farrah, but I had logged. When I got the shower, I said, I can't take any more of this, and I just logged off.
Both, Loca, both.
I don't know if he. I don't know camera, if he's on like rewatch, but see if you can pull a rewatch.
Like, why the cameras though? Like, is this some like American gangster 1960s Harlem fucking? They run around naked to think like what? Right. Why was she sending the camera footage to like?
Yeah, that was undetermined. I still don't understand the camera thing, to be honest with you. But your question about it being in the nails versus like with the nails, I've had that same question because I vaguely remember hearing someone say that she was pressing them like into the things to do the nails. So like they were in the nails. So I dead ass, the FBI's gonna be at my damn door because I googled if you can get HIV/AIDS by putting press on nails on. I'm not gonna lie.
Stop googling, bitch.
See if he's on rewatch though, MJ. He was under. I think he was on the Malevolent. I think Florida Man. See if he's on rewatch. So you can. I know you want some comments, but this way we're not misinforming you as to what was heard or said. Then you can hear it all and see it all because again, he was showing a bunch of texts. He was because he was like, "Hey, y'all get ready," blah.
I mean, respectfully though, it sounds like he's got the full code and everything under control. But all I'm saying is what we're not gonna do is implicate me in something that I don't have a fucking clue of. So, I mean, you can, right? Well, no, honestly, reality is you already did. So I'm going to do what I need to do, obviously, and send them to the parties that would obviously know, which would be the parties involved, which it sounds like Farrah is involved. So if she was compliant and she made those purchases and received it, then she's just as guilty as the person doing it. And I'm going to be wholeheartedly honest. I've lost a lot of people to OD. And I've always been real heavy on get your, I don't know the TikTok code I can use. If she is doing that, she deserves everything coming to her and she should absolutely be fully investigated. Fully investigated. Because
I'm ask one question before I hop down, MJ.
Yeah.
MJ, how did you get involved with these people doing crack, girl?
Hold on. Go ahead, River.
girl.
Hold on.
No,
Go
but
ahead,
hold
River.
on. Let me ask my question, then I'm gonna go run and hide. I just Florida man. This is no disrespect, but did you use a fake name when you talked to the detectives? Because girl, boy, if you talking to detectives right now, boy, you got balls, and I'll give you that.
That's what I was thinking
That's
too when he
all
said
I'm
he
saying.
reported her. Said the same thing.
I mean, with that, honestly, I'm not shocked.
So allegedly, don't ask me how I know. I don't know. I don't be over there with the crack people. But
Double tap, y'all. Double tap.
cat eye is code. It's code for what's the TikTok lingo for it?
Out here messing around.
Yes. So that's what it is code for. And the people, sometimes, like I said, on TikTok, when they slanging it, they use the cameras because once you get the nails, you have to be sure to show the people what you got. So they've been buying them Ring cameras and shit, and the cameras filming their house. So when they get it, they count it, and then they send it, and they show the people like, okay, this is what I got. Don't ask me how I know. I don't know.
Wait, so this is like an actual, like, people are actually doing this shit on TikTok?
Yeah, girl, white TikTok is crazy. That's why I stay from over there, girl. They really
I'm deleting the app. I'm deleting the app.
They use the nails because when you send it in a pack, I don't know if anybody have used press-on nails or not. Like on the bottom of the press-on nails, it's usually like an empty container. So if you send it with the nails, don't ask me how I know, because I'm just speculating. But it's like an empty little clear box. So when you send it with the nails, you can't necessarily, unless you being real nosy, you can't see. And when you go to the post office, and if they happen to open it and you got all them nails in there with the stuff, they not gonna necessarily, flag your package, and then you still gonna receive it.
I have a question. Like, I have like an actual legit question. How do you get to the point with somebody? How do you get to the point with somebody on TikTok or any social media that you use to be comfortable enough to be like, hey,
that part.
Because most people is not like you.
I know, like, I see, like, you got, like, real pretty nails, and I was just wondering if you could, like...
Because people who mess around, girl, they gonna get it by any means, girl. They don't care none of the law or none of that. And most people is not like you, if they're so nosy and in their business. And especially I learned over there on white folks TikTok, they don't really be in each other's business like that. So us who don't mess around, we like, ooh, what's this going on? They already know to go to get down. So baby, they not telling on each other and stuff, and they're looking for it. So they come across, a panel, and they like, hey, we got these nails for sale, and they already know the code.
So they already know what they're looking for then. So people that are looking for this know how to look for it on TikTok. Okay.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, Nova, that you're about to get dragged for even knowing any details.
No, I'm not. Because look, white people, look, this is MJ business. I'm just over here telling her, because she don't really know, because she don't do crack. So I'm just telling her what I observed. I ain't got nothing to do with this, with y'all. But MJ, yeah, you should stay out of that, because that's like a real... it's a real stuff.
Listen, I had a really big paint job, was gone for 4 or 5 days, traveling for work, and I come back to all these crazy posts from last night. I'm being implicated. They're saying that I knew because I was shown text receipts about fraud between two people that supposedly I'm supposed to know the fucking lingo. Like, I wear hair extensions and fucking nails. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, girl, I don't sell no nails. Girl, no, before we get it twisted, girl, I don't sell nails or hair, girl, neither one. I don't sell
there's something with hair too? What the hell?
Yeah, like I said, they say it as a lingo because it's two of the things that you can send over, and I just heard this. I don't know if it's true or not. So
you know what? I'm done. I'm getting down. This is more TikTok education than I need.
And they don't check those packages as well as because TikTok has become so prominent. A lot of those packages, the mail people don't check. They just send them through, so it don't get caught.
How are people comfortable with that? Federal mail? You're telling me that people send this shit through the federal mailing system?
Yes, girl. Girl, if you imagine if you was messing around and then you couldn't get it, on the streets because of the street, girl, you gonna do what you gotta do.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, girl, they do. Girl, I just heard about this stuff.
So I don't know nothing about this either at all.
Period. Period.
But they also use the words candy and they
Yep.
use them in emojis too. And you can also order some candy and that's how they do it too.
Yep.
But I don't know nothing about that
Me
at
either.
all.
So before y'all white folks get on, this is MJ business. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't know about it. I'm just speculating.
You can pretty much send anything through the mail if you one do it overnight or within 2 days and just send other things. Those people aren't checking thoroughly,
No,
especially if
not at
you
all.
send it with food.
Yep. Because food has to get to the client. Oh, wait. Food has to get to the purchaser in such
Yeah.
amount of days before it spoils. So they don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily just go through it all the time. They hurry up and try to get it there because
Bitch,
they don't want
I
to deal with
just
the
woke
incidentals.
up. Bitch, I just woke up.
I gotta give my babies back. Y'all have a good day.
The feds is watching. Look, I gotta get off of here. I don't know what. Stay away from them white folks. Girl, they crazy, girl.
I
They
mean,
get you picked
so,
up.
but like respectfully, so it's not far fetched to say that he could be right.
Oh yeah, he ain't lying, girl. He
Yeah,
telling the truth.
but I mean, it
No,
doesn't take away
don't
from the
take
fact
notes.
that I don't fucking
Don't
know
take
about any of
notes, y'all.
that.
This is just speculation. This is just speculation, girl.
Yeah, allegedly.
Oh no, it's not allegedly. This is just speculation. You know, this is just a fairy tale. How did you get involved with this injured girl? You know the police, girl.
All I did was prove, and now I mean, it's looking more like it's it's legit,
Stop
and she
proving
wasn't
stuff.
frauded. She wasn't frauded. That it was actually a bigger, more major thing going on. And I wish more people would actually see that because it would make sense now. The fucking amounts of money. It would make sense now.
Yeah,
One of the
don't know
biggest
nails cost
questions.
$1,200, girl. That's crazy.
Yeah, one of the biggest questions was why so much money? There was never a set amount of money determined for pay for being an assistant. So it makes fucking sense, but it would go
Oh,
back
she was
to
an assistant.
it would go back to that OG didn't fraud her. But
Oh.
if that's true, OG, and he proves that and that's legit and you're actually fucking doing that, I hope you're held accountable. But I also hope Farrah's held accountable too. Maybe in different ways, get some help, get some whatever it is you
That
need,
lady
but
that you
you're
had up here
just
on
as
your
guilty for
panel.
purchasing that and knowing that it is being shipped through the mail, if true.
Oh, that lady you had on your panel. Yeah, never mind. Let me keep my opinions to myself. But MJ, you need to just stop wanting to know stuff, girl. Some stuff you don't
Listen,
need to know, MJ. I know you want to fight for the truth and stuff, girl, but a lot of the truth is breaking law, girl. You need to stay away from it.
yeah, no, you're not wrong. I'm done doing that shit. I'm done sticking my neck out for people. Honest to God, because it literally like it doesn't do any good. We're sitting on an app that
Oh my
they don't
God, Bree,
care.
she
They don't
died.
care at the end of the day.
Oh Lord, MJ, girl, we just woke up. How did you get involved
I
with
know.
this, girl? This some serious stuff. Look, white people, I just want y'all to know because I know y'all
Oh,
up. Because when you
okay.
just messing around, y'all be up
So
all night. I ain't in
so
it.
somebody just told me that at one point HJ had purchased nails from OG, and that's why. Yo,
Mm-mm.
see, I don't know
Mm-mm.
that. I didn't know HJ. I don't know HJ.
Stop opening your email, girl.
I know. I'm trying, bitch.
MJ, stop. You don't just tell him you don't. Look, white folks, MJ don't want nothing to do with this. She that's is nosy. Let me just explain to y'all in white people language. MJ is an op. She just is worse than the police. Y'all don't want to be involved with her. Left her alone. Lord.
Yeah, so yeah, this in particular, I mean, the only reason I'm having a voice is because I'm being accused of shit, which at the end of the day, I don't really care, right? Because I'm not guilty of anything. So whatever needs to happen will happen, and I will direct them to the correct parties. And I've always said, if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But I mean, if what you guys are describing is legit and that code is in the messages and Farah admitted to it, then I mean, bro's right, and they should all be held accountable. But we can't hold people accountable and protect the others. Farah's just as guilty
Oh
in
no
that,
no no no,
allegedly.
baby. Rat says I've been through with white folks. And not just MJ them. That's because I already knew them girls. So, but everybody else, girl, I learned very quickly over there on White Talk, girl, to stay out their business. They got too much going on, girl, with the cops and stuff. Girl, I don't be over there.
Okay, so the nails. Sorry, I'm sick. The nails that HJ bought came from Carrie Wells. They did not come from OG. And according to
Oh,
Mallory, HJ died from kidney failure. He was not the healthiest person. So
yeah, yeah, which I
we
had
can
heard.
debunk
Yeah,
that. So toodles.
bye.
Tina, why, Tina, why y'all keep dropping so fast? Is it that serious? Look, I'm gonna get out of here. Everybody just keep
Yeah,
leaving so quick.
yeah.
Stay out
No,
them white folks'
listen. Yeah,
business, MJ.
you say one wrong thing and your whole family's going on the internet. So
Stay out of this, MJ. This I'm messing you. Stay out these white folks' business, girl.
fucking days, and my name is still being thrown in the shit. So, what I'm not gonna do is sit silent while the people need to go to make the correct investigations. Right? We're not gonna be petty with our panties in a bunch and upset because somebody got us upset and just start throwing out accusations. That's what we're not gonna do. Okay? We're not gonna do that. Because this is crazy. This is crazy. And I didn't have anything to do with this shit. It was the fraud. Okay? But what I can honestly say is that the amounts of money, it would make sense. It would also make sense why OG mostly stayed quiet. Right? Because I just had my own thing happen with OG. And to be transparent, it's fuck OG for me. Right? I don't need to go hate bond with dude. I don't need to go hate bond with dude just because I learned something that had nothing to do with the fraud, but learned something on my own about the lady. Okay? That's what I'm not going to do. I don't need to hate bond with you. I'm definitely not going to do that. Yeah. But it makes a lot of things make sense. But at the end of the day, the part that I had my foot in the door on was the fraud. And the reality is, with the bigger picture, is she didn't get frauded. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was purchasing. She knew exactly what was going on, according to them. According to them, which would make all of my arguments correct. That she didn't get frauded. She knew what she was doing, and it would make sense for the money. I don't know. I ain't talked to none of them. I've been busy. Okay? I'm not internet. I have a real life. I don't have a TikTok schedule. I've never, in my almost 4, maybe it has been 4 years, on this app, have I ever had an actual full-time TikTok schedule. Okay? I get busy, and if I have big jobs, I don't have time for this shit. Okay? My real life comes first. And I don't need to hit the live button. I don't have to hit the live button to prove a point to anybody. But don't ever think you're running me off TikTok. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. And that accusation is crazy because in order, I would have had to have known lingo. I didn't know OG for that long. You're trying to say that she taught me a lingo or whatever y'all want to call that in the 7 days total I spent talking to her trying to prove that Farrah actually wasn't frauded? And yeah, Mittens, why are you in here? Aren't you were calling me transphobic, saying I'm horrible for my own community? Like what do you got going on, girl? What do you got? Why are you in here now? What do you got going on? What do you got going on? Huh? Y'all are too comfortable. That's your problem. Y'all are too comfortable. Um, yeah, most of them are, honestly. And you know what's sad is they're compliant. They're compliant. They're very, 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 very compliant. And that's sad, right? Trying to use intimidation tactics to figure out the truth is probably one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen, and also dangerous, right? Doing everything in your power to try to isolate people, especially as a man and you're targeting females, it's really sad and dangerous, right? For people who aren't as strong, for people who might take it more serious than other people do, it's really weird. And the fact that you want to be a truth teller so bad, but you're willing to toss accusations on shit as if they're truths. That post you made last night, you posted that as if it's truths, as if you would have receipts to prove that, and you don't for either or. Because I'm not a fake page. Okay, everybody that knows me, I don't need to say what I need to say to you on a fake page. I don't need to come on a fake page to say what I need to say to you. I am not scared of you. Okay? If I have something to say to you, I will either make a post or I will go live. One or the other. Please understand, I am not a full-time TikTok creator. I am not a TikTok creator at all. My life is not TikTok. Sometimes I will go full weeks without going live. Sometimes I have been known to not go live for months. And all of my day ones can tell you that. I go through spurts, okay? I go through spurts because I am a very busy person, contrary to popular belief. But making posts as if they are truths is making you look silly. Because I know for a fact that both things you posted are untrue, and you posted them as if they were truth. That discredits you. That discredits you. You can't look at a post that some fake page is making, even if you think that the content is similar, and I don't even know because I don't even go look at the page because I don't care, and say that, oh well, they post kind of similar, or I'm just gonna keep talking about her because I feel like she hasn't been on the app in 5 days, so she must be scared, right? She must be compliant because she's terrified. It's never gonna be that, sir. It's never going to be that. Like, it's never going to be that. So I don't know what you're doing, but discrediting yourself. Those two accusations are wild. So like I said, to clear that up, I am not behind any fake pages. If I have something to say to you, I'm going to say it to you. Okay? I'm not going to hate bond with you. I don't give a fuck to, first and foremost. Second of all, you can send whoever you need to my house. And all I'm going to do is show them your posts. I'm going to send them to your lives for replay so that they can get an idea of what the fuck's going on, since I clearly don't know. And then I'm going to let them know the parties that I have been involved with on TikTok that would be involved, which would include your friend Farah. Okay? It would include your friend Farah. Okay? Because if she knowingly purchased She knew the routes. She knew the shit was being sent through the mail. She knew what the lingo. She helped set it up. She was compliant. She is going to be just as guilty as the woman who did the thing, if true, allegedly, because I don't fucking know. It's looking like it's possible. I will say that. It's looking like it's very possible. Then they're all gonna go down. They're all gonna go down. Okay? That I didn't screen record anything. I made that very, very fucking clear. I'm not super, super intelligent with that kind of shit anyway. But I didn't have a reason to screen record anything because the lies, I was sent screenshots that coincided, okay? When the screen share happened, I didn't record that shit. Why do I need to record the conversations? Why would I need to record that? Like, why would I record that? I don't have a reason to record that. Every text message that applied, I got a hard copy of it as well. But in saying that, what you're insinuating is that everybody that saw her DMs is implicated in that, which would include Megan, Smash, and everybody else. Like, is this satire? What? I don't know what that. I don't know what you're. I don't know what you're asking by that. I don't know what you're asking by that. If you're referring to what Megan did, like I said, I think that it was distasteful. I think that Megan lacks emotional maturity and intelligence. I think that people don't stop and think that you don't need to react on their levels. At the point where you're reacting on their levels, it doesn't make you any better. I understand why she did what she did, but I do not agree with it. You can't, like, you're giving them what they want. You're giving them exactly what they want, right? Because if they can make you look bad, if they can take away from what he's doing and make you look bad and turn the attention on you for you to be the next person for them to accuse and drag, you're giving them what they want. You're giving them exactly what they want. And I have no interest in that. Why am I going to go have a crash out satire anything when I don't even know what the fuck's going on with it? And respectfully, if it's true, then they all should be held accountable, including OG. Okay? I've lost family. I've lost friends. I've lost a lot of friends. A lot of friends to that. It's one of the main reasons why I moved out of my hometown. Because I didn't want to be like them. But it doesn't mean that a lot of them didn't pass away from it. And so I am wholeheartedly, if it's true, and he online needs to be the one to investigate that, break it all down, and do what he needs to do to hold them accountable. I'm all for it. I got no problem with it. No problem at all with it.
What's up?
Hey.
So, I mean, I after our little thing, you know, so you took OG's for her every word, and that backfired. I'm just trying
no.
I'm just trying to get caught up. I heard the fuck OG.
So listen. So okay. So when the fraud thing, right? So the fraud thing all unfolded. So everything. So including the bank call, right? So there was a bank call. So what OG did was she stayed silent while Farrah gave her story, and the story was projected online, right?
Right.
So after about 4 or 5 days, then OG was like, okay, well, now here I go. I just think it's funny how Farrah is telling them this version, but here's the bank call, right? So we saw the messages and we heard the bank call. And so we were like, wait, so Farrah definitely knew, and she confirmed with third party, with the bank, how many transactions were approved.
So when I came up to talk to you,
hold on,
okay,
because there's more.
go ahead.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
So one of the biggest questions that everybody had was, why the amount of money? And then Farrah lied about how many sets of nails she got.
Right.
So we were like, well, so first of all, why all the money? That was another question that everybody had. Did you guys have an agreement for payment? Was there a set amount for payment? Because this is a lot of money, so why all this money? But now, if this is true, if what he's exposing is true, then that makes sense. Okay, so we can agree. So Farrah wasn't frauded. If what he's saying is true, then Farrah was purchasing that stuff from her, which would make sense for the money and the amount of sets of nails. So it still stands. She wasn't frauded. She was purchasing rugs, allegedly, according to him. So
do you know what a scream for? Do you know what a cry for help is? Like when somebody's actively doing something destructive, do you know what it means? What do you know? What you know? And sometimes it could be so so wild and whatnot. It's like a scream for help.
In regards to what? Like who? Like who are you talking about?
Right now, in general, I'm talking about in general. So hypothetically, okay, she's in deep, right? She's in deep with her, right? She's in deep. She's doing some shit, and she want to get out of it. So my first thing, she frauded me. Fuck, I don't know, because I really don't want to get to the root of it, right? I don't want to sit and expose everything that I've been doing, right?
I agree.
But here's, and look, I don't know a whole lot on that. I've been getting tidbits and whatnot. That why I'm here right now is because you went to bat for OG and said what you said about me, and you didn't even know me. So, you got mad because I mentioned critical thinking, and I was going to give you some stuff that day to give you some critical thinking on, and you could have, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll own that. Because if this is true, yeah, I'll own that all day long. That the comment you made, which upset me, right? Because I don't want people to be dry accused of that, and that's what upset me, because I think a lot of us have lost people to that kind of thing. I don't know the TikTok lingo, but I can own that. If this is true and this is panning out, which sucks because he's accusing me of knowing what the lingo was. I don't have a fucking clue. I don't do hair extensions, and I definitely don't.
Listen, I never use hair extension or nails, but it's a new age, right? I mean, we had other words for it back in my day, but I haven't touched none of that in 19 years. You still pick up on it though.
Been involved in any shit that involves lingo but I will.
So you got in over your head with that, OG, then maybe, huh?
If you were reading between the lines, right? And I wasn't totally in the wrong either, because this wouldn't be fraud. A cry for help is not fraud. So when somebody is projecting that somebody frauded somebody for days on live,
were all them the fraud would come into play if some of them transactions that she didn't, that the homegirl didn't know were being done because she had her numbers. There possibly could be fraud up in the mix of that too.
But she did.
I didn't.
Because of the bank call.
They're both wrong.
Because of the bank call. Because of the bank call that we all heard, Farrah very much knew, and she approved all those transactions and was fighting with the bank to get him back. OG in that call with the bank counted out the numbers of transactions.
The point I just wanted to make, that it's funny how everything's playing out. Sometimes you gotta sit back and watch some stuff, but you was gonna look all up at me. Did you do that? Did you look into me? I just needed to
listen,
because you went a route to another. And I'm not trying to come at you. I'm really not.
I don't look people up. So this narrative that I was gonna in real life,
it wasn't a narrative. You said it. Did you listen to the clip? Did you listen to your live that day?
Your content, what you do. If you accuse people of things, okay. Everybody that sits with me knows I don't dox. That's exactly why I just fell out with OG. Okay.
So did you find any fuck shit that I've done on the app?
It had nothing to do with the fraud. Okay. I don't dox. She took something from me and claimed that it was for bullying and harassment reports and all this shit, right? And she gave it to a fake fucking page. She admitted to me that she knew. She said 4 people were behind the page. She knew one of them.
Who did that? Who did that?
OG did. And so when I figured that out on my own, I said, fuck you. I don't do that. I don't care. My whole life has been blasted on this app.
Did you see what she did? But listen, we need to get to the point that I was saying. She does this to people. She used you. Do you see how she used you?
Yeah, I see it now.
And to me,
absolutely.
That's a predator.
Yeah.
You've been a predator on this fucking app for 4 years, and a couple people were trying to tell you that. And we got,
but some of the people, and I'm not saying you.
Could you unblock my main though?
I'm not saying it about you, but some of those same people that were doing the same thing as you, they do the same shit to people, right? And like I said, I'm not saying you, but some of those same people doing the shit, they're the same way. They do the same exact thing. Oh yeah. So yeah, I will own that if this proves to be true, and it's looking pretty legit, then yeah, I shouldn't have said anything about trying to figure out who you are as a creator.
I appreciate that.
And the mental and emotional, and on everything I love, I would not have looked up real life. I don't look up real life. You can ask anybody that sits with me. There's nothing real life about my Discords. Nothing of that fucking sort. I would have no what good is it gonna do me to look you up in real life? What I mean when I say that, because everybody knows what I stand by, is who you are as a creator. Are you an advocate? Are you claiming to be an advocate, but throwing out at the time what I thought would be dry accusations? Now I can own the fact that maybe those aren't so dry.
Listen, I advocate when need be. I'm not an always on call. I'm not a recovering addict. I am, but not always. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm not working on shit. I take my will back and I come up in here and, and fight. I am far from fucking perfect. Do I step in shit? Yep. And been trying to get it off my chute for the last 4 fucking years on this app. But,
this app sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it does, but yeah, you can make the best out of it. You know what I mean? You really can. You take what you want and you leave the fucking rest.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to get into the store and I seen you was live on, somebody sent, I was on this account. If you could unblock my other one, that would be great, but somebody sent me this live.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh shit, is she talking about me again? Let's go.
I don't know. I don't have TikTok logged into my PC to be able to unblock it right now.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me what OG did to me. She didn't do shit to me. She just fucked up somebody's head, and I didn't appreciate it. But we could talk about that on my live. Never tried canceling that lady. Never did. Never tried canceling her.
Well, no. I'll say, if this is true, she deserves to be she deserves, her and Farrah respectfully deserve to be held legally accountable. Yeah, most people do that shit on their own. I ain't gotta do shit but sit back and watch it. But thank you for having a conversation with me. I wish we could have had it back then. But yeah, I appreciate it too. Yeah, and again, I would have never looked up your actual real life. What I mean by that is, as a creator, are we throwing out dry accusations while advocating, was like where I was going with that. So please don't think that would have been a thing. No, I didn't look you up. I don't even know your name. I'm not interested in knowing your name. I know you as Tech, and that's it. Yeah, if you would have watched my live little after that live that morning, we was talking about a whole bunch of stuff, and I did listen to somebody's live, and we brought up plausible. Did I have evidence? I don't have evidence of shit because I don't collect receipts. You know what I mean? It's just what I've seen and what. Yeah, and in the whole situation, the only receipts that I paid attention to was just the fraud thing. All this extra shit, I don't know anything about that. And to be honest, I mean, it's being threatened to send agents to my house or whatever. And I said, that's completely fine. That's totally fine. But I'm going to have to direct them to the parties that would actually know. And I'm going to have to be honest, I don't know anything about it. And that would be Farrah and OG and FM. If he's doing his investigation and breaking down these text messages, that those would be the people to answer the questions. I can't answer questions of things I don't know about. True that. But, have a great day. Thank you. You too. I appreciate it.
Hey, I hopped up here to say, obviously, I don't believe this whole thing about OG And if other people want to believe it, fine. And here's why I don't. And this is just food for thought. So, like, if he had made the claim against OG by herself, and it was just like an OG and Farrah thing, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. And I might have like considered it. But when he started throwing you into it and then Megan, I mean, I'm like, there's no way Megan is party to any of that. And so by him including those other two, you and Megan, it basically canceled it out. It was like, okay, now you're just throwing stuff to throwing stuff because
I mean,
that's
as far as me, yes, because obviously, I mean, I didn't need to go live and do a crash out satire, right?
right.
Like I said, I understand why she did what she did because
I absolutely would have done the same thing.
For somebody who emotionally and mentally lacking on what is good banter and what is not, right? Like, so my whole life and DV victims, kids, all that shit got plastered all over the net. Did anybody see me go live and crash out and do the same thing back?
No,
they did not.
that doesn't mean she's wrong for doing it. That's how you handle it, and she's
Right.
entitled to handle it. And here's the thing: y'all are in two different places. What they are claiming she did, she has children. You think about this, and she's already had CPS called on her falsely before. If this stuff gets used against her, obviously that all starts up again. This is such a dangerous thing. And for those of us who have sat with her and, hung out with her for years, we know this not to be true. This is not a true thing. And that's why I'm like, okay, like, had he just stopped with the OG thing, I think a lot of people might have like really like paused and thought, well, maybe, is there potentially, I don't believe it, but whatever. But when he starts throwing your stuff in there, who he's fighting with, and Megan's stuff in there, who isn't, taking his side, it makes me say, okay, no, this is just a made up line crap because OG won't fold. She won't give in. She won't, she's fighting back. And anybody who stands up and says, I'm not going along with this, I disagree with you, this is exactly what happens. He's done it to, I mean, I've seen it happen to everyone. And I'm just like, I don't know. He has nothing to lose at this point. He knows it. And
I mean, at the end of the day, though, I can't worry about Megan.
No,
right? I don't know. I'm not from this side of the FYP, so a lot of these people, like even OG, I hadn't talked to OG. I don't know the exact date. Somewhere around December 27th was the first time that I had a private conversation with OG. So OG and Megan, they go way back. I don't know. I can't speculate. I don't know conversations they've had, how long they've been friends, who purchased what from who's ever gotten what from who. That's at the end of the day, the Megan and the OG and the friends with whoever is from that side that she has sat with for a long time isn't really my battle to fight.
Right. I just came up to say, like, because you're talking on it and kind of like saying that it's possible. And I'm telling you, for those of us who know Megan, we know it is not possible. I don't know OG as much. She hasn't been on the app. I don't believe it. But, obviously people are entitled to kind of like, I think people should investigate it. If it's really happening, it's a horrible thing. Do I think Megan's involved with it? Absolutely not. And I am shocked at the people who aren't standing up and saying, hey, we know that's not to be true. It would be the same for whoever you ride hard with, that you hang out with. You know the people you sit with.
What I'm saying has really nothing to do with Megan. If it's plausible that it was happening between Farrah and OG, right? I've never seen messages between Megan and OG. I've never seen messages between OG and anybody else other than the Farrah and the fraud situation.
Right, but that's my whole point is there has been no proof of any of this with Megan, and yet he's thrown Megan into the pile, which makes me think, well, if this, if now you're saying Megan's involved, obviously he's fighting with Megan. He's got no proof on Megan. We know Megan's not buying nails or putting them on or any of that stuff.
You do realize that for me posting a bolo, which I didn't realize was a handmade created one with a license plate or a license number on it, Pretty much my whole family and a fuck ton of strangers got doxxed.
You what? I don't. What did you do? You posted a
So I
bolo?
posted it was a bolo flyer, right? Because
Okay.
he's wanted. And on that bolo flyer, it had like the license plate numbers and apparently I wanted maybe a driver's license number, and that pissed him off. So in return,
Right.
I
Now
don't
he's
even know how
coming
total
after
how
you.
many people got doxxed. My girlfriend and part of her family and some strangers that were tied into that. Some of my family and a bunch of strangers that were tied into that, including a bunch of people that have nothing to do with the TikTok beef. He just
Right.
went and searched up a bunch of people and posted the shit, which did include a DV victim in hiding with her 3 kids.
Yeah.
So,
It's really disgusting.
over the fact that this, at the end of the day, I think we can say maybe wasn't fraud. It was something on a bigger magnitude.
Right.
Potentially,
I mean,
allegedly.
your point was well stated that
Yeah.
even if it was for what they now it's being said they purchased, it's still she still bought it, so it's still bank fraud. So yeah, I caught what you're putting down there.
Yeah, like
So, yeah.
and like I said, one of the biggest things that everybody questioned and nobody could get an answer to was these amounts of money, right? There was never a solid answer on was there an amount of money to be paid for payment for being an assistant, all of that shit. So again, I have to say I can't say that it's completely not true because it would make sense for the amounts of money for nails and assistant work that was sent. And if Farrah came clean about this, then
Did you
again it stands.
did
She
you get
was
the
not
answer of how
frauded.
long she was her assistant? Did you get that answer?
I know as early as November. The text messages showed as early as November.
So
And
$5,000 a month to be an assistant would probably
listen,
be.
I'm not trying to get into the
I know,
money
but I'm just
amounts and
saying,
the
like, think
antics.
about it. If you're employed, just kind of like guess what you would charge somebody. I don't know. The whole thing is messed up. Obviously, I hope all this gets found out that it's not true. But I just want to say, like, because of the addition of you and Megan all being like a part of this, it just makes me go, yeah, no, this isn't true.
Well, I think at this point he's just trying to poke at me and trying
Yeah.
to do the ha ha. I told you about OG, but the reality is that the two things are separate. The fraud thing is separate from what made me tell OG go fuck yourself. They're two totally different things, and I'm not gonna hate bond with him over that, right?
So
Because
what? So I don't know why.
hold
What
on.
happened with you and OG?
I can't stand to be interrupted. Please don't do that. They're two totally separate things. So the fraud thing is completely separate from her taking information that she and we agreed was for legal purposes only and passing it on to some fake page that was doxing right along with that side. I don't stand with that shit. I don't even care. I'm the one that exposed that she did that, right? Because I called her out on it. Why is this page posting shit that I gave you for legal purposes? I don't stand by that. These people have kids in their house. Yes, it's being done to me. I will handle that how I need to handle that, but how I handle that is not giving shit to a fake page to go do the same thing back, right? Because OG can't cry about being a victim of anything if you're literally going to do what I don't stand by, which is turn around and give them the same energy. And she manipulated me into getting that information, and I don't fuck with that. So I called her out immediately, and haven't talked to her since. She's blocked on everything. I don't fuck with that. You don't get to pull the wool over my eyes, right? People that actually did stand up, when in reality, allegedly, if this is something bigger, then you are being dishonest with everybody, and you're making everybody look bad. Okay. The part that I covered was the fraud. If this is true, then Farrah actually was not frauded. And I think everybody can agree to that. It was actually something bigger. So yeah, no, they're two totally different things. I said fuck you to OG on my own for something that she did to me. Had nothing to do with all this other shit that my name is being plastered all over. And I don't even really know the lady. The first conversation, I've never sat with OG like that. The first conversation I had with her was around the end of December, maybe the 27th. Other than that, with the fraud thing, I've never had conversations with OG. So, you know.
Well, hang in there. It'll eventually this will all blow over, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I don't know her well, but I just don't. I don't know. It just seems too far fetched for me. But hey,
Well,
maybe
to
I'll
be
get proved
honest,
wrong.
with the experience that I had with her, just with the sneaky, with the bad intentions, right? I at this point I can't put it past it. If she's sneaky enough to try to be malicious against somebody who not only was a voice, but you did the exact opposite of what that person who stuck up for you believes in, then you can't put anything past people like that. That means that she is a manipulator as well, because that's exactly what it was, manipulation. To the point where I also was blamed for that other page. And thank God I have the text messages to prove that she recognizes that she knows at least one of the people behind that page. And that there's actually 4 total people behind it. I'm not getting blamed for that shit. You're not blaming me for that shit, ma'am. Mm-mm.
So let me. I guess I guess I really don't know what happened. So you gave her information about fraud stuff or about other people that had something to do with all this.
She requested somebody's information for a bullying and harassment report to take things the legal route that, well, I was told she had already started all the paperwork.
Against Florida Man?
And I gave her that information to be able to contact and attach it to her report. And instead of doing that, she gave it to a fake page to dox said person. And like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So again, she used manipulation, and then the excuse was, well, that they said that they wanted to do a report too, so I didn't know. No, bitch, you knew. You knew, because I'm sorry, we were born on a day, but it wasn't yesterday. Why would you give somebody's information to a fake fucking T-page awareness page that literally has no followers because it was just created? You knew exactly what you were doing. You did it with malice purpose, and I do not approve of that. That's not why I gave you the information, and I have all the proof of that. So I can leave it at that. But yeah, she manipulated. She used it for malice purposes, and I don't stand by that. I don't give a fuck who it is. They can post my shit all day long, but I'm not going to do the same back, right? Because I do care about the safety of children. I do care whether or not kids are terrified of police and all of this other weird shit that comes along with it. Okay? Innocent people, innocent neighbors, innocent bystanders, innocent family members. That shit is weird to me. This is TikTok.
That's wrong.
If you want to banter, leave it at TikTok.
Yeah.
Like,
if you don't want to play the game, get off of TikTok.
Yeah. And what she did is, I mean, it is. It's all making sense. It's all making sense, because why would you want to do that and facilitate that type of banter, but claim to be a victim and want justice and people held accountable? The two things don't go hand in hand. So yeah, it was a big fuck you, OG, from me.
And did you make a report?
It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with the fraud part.
Did she make a report? Do you know?
I'm not going to answer that.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I
mean, well,
if she did, this is what I can say. If she did, it's going to all get thrown out. It's no good. You can't be a victim and file this and try to go the legal route if you're going to turn around and do the same weird shit for malice purpose. Okay? Because there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference from trying to hold people accountable for what they're doing on the internet versus doing it maliciously and putting kids and innocent people in harm's way, which is why I think what he's doing is Just weird.
Yeah,
right?
it's bad.
Accountability doesn't have to be character assassination. Like it's weird. It's so weird.
Okay, well, hang in there.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We're good.
bye.
Thank you.